Hello everybody and welcome to Assembly, but a particularly big shout out to the boys in Linton. Just so you know boys, we're all hugely thinking of you and I can't even imagine how frustrating it must be to have been sort of shut up since Sunday evening, or Sunday morning even, but just want to let you know that we're all very much thinking of you, hoping that test result comes back soon and that we can sort of lift the lid and let the Linton lobsters back out. So just hope you're bearing up, well done for all you're doing and really thinking of you all. So turning to Assembly notices for this week, this first one is for girls' sport. On Wednesday we welcomed back recent leavers from the Upper Sixth to play a friendly tennis fixture against current Upper Sixth, and it was lovely to see them. Captained by Izzy Greenwood, the girls had an opportunity to reconnect with old friends and also to enjoy some competition. From Mrs. Staniforth on DT, she says, we're very pleased to introduce the Makerspace, a co-curricular club within the Design and Technology Department. And the topics currently scheduled for Makerspace are mask making, Jesmonite casting, 3D printing and embossed leather bookmarks, laser cut, Christmas decorations and wearable electronics. But we also need your suggestions, she says. So anyone interested, check your email, follow the links to the Makerspace sign-up forms. Sessions will take place in year groups, obviously, on both Tuesdays and Thursdays after school in the studio. Session invitations will be sent out by email. From Mr. Miles Kingston, music. It's been great to hear so many pupils playing and singing this week as we've returned to our full programme of individual music lessons. If you were expecting to have a music lesson and you haven't been contacted, please speak to Mr. MK. Following the sixth form auditions, there are some tenor spaces available in the boys' barbershop group. Boys who are interested in the fourth and fifth form should contact Mr. MK by email. And he says that he'll also be auditioning for the chapel choir on Monday lunchtime next week. So again, please email him if you're interested in that. And also that Lambda lessons are going to resume next week, so keep an eye on email. From Mr. Shred, we're delighted to announce the launch of Young Enterprise as a competition for the lower sixth. As you probably know, Young Enterprise is a competition based on pupils starting up your own business, and it's a great opportunity to develop business acumen and skills. The competition also counts as a Duke of Edinburgh skill and will be an excellent addition to UCAS applications, especially for business and economics degrees. Place is limited to only 16, and that's from the lower sixth, and they'll run on a Monday after school. And the school's own pupil-led magazine, Keynote, is also looking for willing people and people who are interested. Fantastic magazine and a great one to get involved with. For any pupils who'd like to write or illustrate for Keystone, please contact Mrs. Todd or Cecily O'Neill. You don't necessarily need ideas, just bags of enthusiasm, but really look forward to seeing that coming along. So not so many notices, and finally, this week in chapel, we've been reflecting on the balance between individuals and being part of a community. That's been very much brought into sharp focus by the need for us to keep physical distancing, while thankfully being back in a more social setting than we were in lockdown. And that balance between standing alone and being part of a team is always a fascinating one. Some people are drawn towards more solitary activities, while others need human company as much as possible to feel secure and happy. When you think of a school or any community in life, it's of course the blend that's most important. We live in a deeply interconnected world, both sociologically and environmentally. David Attenborough's programme Extinction on Sunday evening showed the impact and ripple effect of human action on the natural environment. And the tragedy in many ways is how long we've known this and how little we've done about it. Back in the 1980s, we were being encouraged to boycott aerosols containing CFCs, which damaged the ozone layer, and lead was removed from petrol. But overall, the message of reduce, reuse and recycle has had limited impact when you compare it to where the environment is. And even further back than when I was at school, Chief Seattle, a Native American leader, was saying in the early 19th century, will you teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother? What befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. This we know. The earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. All things are connected, like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life, he's merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. If we do everything on our own, we can never fully develop to our truest extent, but likewise, if we always look towards others, we miss the opportunity for personal growth as well. And nothing new there, of course, for those of you who studied the work of psychologists such as Carl Jung, who explained the importance of harmony between inner psychological traits. The difference between having a school online and being back in IRL and back in real life has made me reflect on different ways of educating. It's possible to imagine a parallel universe in which nobody ever goes to a physical school, in the same way that some companies are questioning whether people need to come and work in offices. And I'm sure you're aware there's been some really interesting writing on this in the media in recent weeks, with people putting forward the benefits and flexibility of working from home, and others arguing that so much is lost without personal interaction when human beings get together. I've always been more interested in a fundamental question. What exactly is the purpose of a school? The most simple answer surely is that we live in a society where you need qualifications to progress onto the first stages of a career and therefore set yourself up for some kind of financially productive life. Of course, that's a very reductionist point of view, and the wider perspective is that while examination results are crucial to the next stages, school is about a lot more than that. I'm sure that many of you will remember for the rest of your lives what happens in the classroom, but it's equally likely that it's the things you do outside, whether that be your subject-related tours and visits, sporting events, music, drama, or any of your other co-curricular options. There's no doubt that it's all these things which make schools far significantly more fun than the Victorian stereotype of sitting in rows and rote learning memorably captured in Charles Dickens' novel Hard Times. A central character in the novel is Mr. Gradgrind, a school supervisor whose philosophy of education is that children should be taught rational rules only and that life should be based around calculating self-interest. As he said, facts alone are wanted in life. Plant nothing else and root out everything else. You can only form the minds of reasoning animals upon facts. Nothing else will ever be of any service to them. Well, as with so many of Dickens's characters, he's using what's called a straw man argument, setting something up that's designed to be overturned. And that's exactly what Dickens does with his character, as he shows him learning how much more there is to life when his daughter goes through an emotional breakdown. And often the art to life is in finding the balance between two extremities. If all we did was the co-curricular, then you would of course lose the vital importance of cultural capital and learning from your academic subjects, as well as of course those exam results as passports to the next stage. Focus only on examination results and you have a dry, sterile existence. Get the balance right and you have not only a lot of fun, we hope, during your time at school, but also develop those wider interests and skills which will set you up. In 2018, the World Economic Forum, the group that usually meets in Davos every year, commissioned a significant piece of research which resulted in a report called The Future of Jobs. It's easily findable online and very well worth a read. As the title suggests, it does of course look at those lines of work which are currently on trend and which are expected to be increasingly on trend in future years, as well as those which are expected to decline. And that's interesting itself, but something which really caught my eye was the section where they look at the sorts of skills which are needed now and which will be increasingly needed in the jobs market over the coming years. When I looked at that list, not only did I find it dynamic and sparky, but it also struck me that it reflects very much the skills that we seek to develop both in and out of the classroom. At the risk of reading out a list, I will now do exactly that, and in no particular order, here are the skills that they are identifying as being crucial for the future. Creativity, problem solving, emotional intelligence, critical thinking, persuasion and negotiation, resilience, initiative, flexibility, originality, leadership and social influence. One of the reasons why we put more emphasis on tutor time and tutoring is to allow the space to understand how all that you do develops you into a rounded person, ready for life and with the capacity to be reflective on your personal development. The Skills in the Future of Jobs report has been used to provide a structure to the tutoring programme across the year, and I hope you do find that a really interesting process to reflect on all the things you enjoy and which makes your teenage years and beyond great fun, and also have the higher purpose of equipping you properly for all that lies ahead. For now though, I hope you're enjoying the pleasant warmth, and I wish you well for the end of the week and the week ahead, and just closing out with another shout out, all the boys in Linton really thinking of you.